If you've ever heard of NIM, then know that it's one of the oldest and most deceptively clever mathematical games around. The rules are simple enough to explain in a few sentences, yet the strategy behind it runs deep and has fascinated mathematicians and gamers for centuries.
7 matches, 1 of 5 and 1 of 3. And here are the rules. You take it in turns. You're allowed to take any number of matches provided they're all from the same row, and the object is to leave the other person to pick up the last match. Okay?
I see.
Have first go.
This mathematical elegance hides behind what looks like a casual game, and there are several really good videos out there on YouTube explaining exactly how to play it correctly, although as you can see here, the little androids are explaining the rules. If you get the strategy right, you'll never lose, assuming your opponent doesn't know the mathematics behind it too. So enter Android NIM, a digital adaptation that brings this ancient game into the world of early home computers. Originally programmed by Leo Christopherson for the TRS-80 in 1978, it later found new life on systems like the Commodore PET, Apple II, and notably, the Commodore 64. Don Dennis's Commodore 64 version of Android NIM was published by Courbois Software in 1983, although in 1985 a reissue was released under Argus Press Software, or 64-tape computing, as we see here. Instead of plain piles of tokens, however, we're faced with 3 rows of animated androids, 7, 5 and 3 in each. But it's not just about numbers and NIM sums, the androids themselves have character. Each row has an executioner, who shakes his head in approval or disapproval when you input a move. The androids don't just sit there either. Their heads, arms, eyes and ears twitch and wave. They shriek when zapped, and sometimes even shoot back. The whole thing feels alive, especially for the time, when most games were static or text-based. You're not just playing NIM, you're playing NIM with personality. Android NIM even brought sound into the mix, and you hear the androids shriek and the phaser fire lasers. This audio-visual flair made it more than a pure logic puzzle. It became a little sci-fi performance where each move felt like a mini-battle. The combination of strategic depth and presentation was unusual and captivating, especially for younger players. This C64 port polished the animations and gave the computer opponent a more gracious personality, unlike the original TRS-80 version, where the AI might have been a bit of a sore winner. The C64's android showed good sportsmanship, flinching in defeat or a proud "you win" message. Graphics were smoother, animations crisper, but the core gameplay remained the same. You still need to master the NIM sum to win, but with a more polished presentation it felt fresher and more approachable. While I wasn't even born around the time the TRS-80 was released, my first exposure to Android NIM was on the Commodore 64. What struck me most wasn't just the gameplay, but how the game managed to humanise pure logic through a few sprites and some simple animations. The androids waving their arms, the executioners shaking their heads, it made the cold numbers feel warm. There's something incredibly satisfying about plotting your moves in secret, silently calculating NIM sums, and then watching the final android shriek and the screen flash victory or defeat. It's a quiet mental duel wrapped in endearing personality. Android NIM still holds a special place in gaming history because it perfectly blends strategic elegance with engaging presentation. As a simple, yet brilliant, introduction to mathematical game theory, it wraps complex concepts in a fun and approachable package. Beyond its nostalgic appeal, Android NIM also offers genuine educational value, teaching players binary thinking and problem-solving skills in an entertaining way. All in all, it's a timeless classic, well worth revisiting. If you have access to a Commodore 64 emulator, or can find the original on TRS-80 or Apple II, I highly recommend giving Android NIM a try. Watch the androids wave, listen for the laser sounds, and enjoy a perfect blend of strategy and character. It's more than a game, it's a little piece of computing history that still has the power to engage and delight, and therefore I thought I should document it on the channel. Whether you're a nostalgic gamer or just curious about the roots of digital strategy games, Android NIM is a gem worth revisiting. Get it fired up and give it a whirl. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and be sure to share your experiences with Android NIM in the comments section. As always, your continued support is massively appreciated, so hit that subscribe for more content just like this. Check out the various playlists on the channel for more Commodore titles, and maybe stick around as there's another one coming up right now. Hopefully. I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, bye for now.
If I take one from there,
I'll take one from there.
I can take those two,
And I'll just take one of these, leaving you to take the last one.
and that's NIM.